Yeah, my name is Ryan Okano. I grew up on the east side of Hawaii Island in the plantation town of Pipekeo, which is actually 9 miles north of Hilo. Currently, I live in Oahu and I work for the Division of Aquatic Resources, where I'm a program manager. In my early life, I wasn't heavy into fishing and not harvesting, but heavy into fishing and using the resources a lot. When I was young, like in high school, like a lot of kids, I used to like play, so I used to surf a lot. And then when I did my grad school, that's when I really got into the understanding the importance of the ocean and the resources, because that's when I started to depend on the ocean and the resources. That's where I started to really understand the importance, because I had to take care of myself. So that's when I really got into the resources. Spearfishing was one way that I fed myself. Nighttime, we would catch alma crabs, and the place we went today was one of the spots we used to go catch alma crabs, and occasionally when we go catch alma crabs, we would see some OPs and we would grab that too. So that's how I kind of developed a relationship with the place. Make sure we get enough so we can keep on doing what we do. Basically, make sure we get enough fish so that people can keep on fishing in more the sustainable style, you know what I mean? That every day, go catch some holes for dinner, that kind of style. I'm not talking about massive commercial kind of stuff, but more the everyday, support the family, enough for bring home. And that's the angle we're trying to work nowadays. That relationship has to start when it's young, and it starts, and I would say, more of an innocent way. It's just going out to have fun, going out to enjoy the sun, enjoy the water, and then you build that comfort level. And then as you get mature and older, some kids are going to be into it more than others, and those are the kids that are into it. You're going to see it. It's automatic. They're going to be the ones wanting to go dive, wanting to go fish, learning the fish names, learning how to clean the fish, learning how to cook the fish, learning what type of fish your family like eat. When you go fish, as a child, you can pick up to those cues. What kind of fish? Oh, what kind of fish Nana like? What kind of fish Papa like? You can get them like that, and you're gonna realize, oh, this is the fish they like. And so when you go diving, you're gonna identify that fish. The value of fish is so much more than feeding and nourishing yourself is super important. Don't get me wrong, that's like the most important thing. But that other part of giving to your kupuna, giving to your uncles, giving to your aunties, that forms bonds within a community, and it reinforces those bonds. So whenever I go to the ocean, I'm always checking it out, you know what I mean, looking at the resources and stuff like that. And of course nowadays you get the computer for check the surf report like that, but when I was living back home in Pipekeo, we never have that kind of technology. So if we had time, every morning we'd go down to the ocean, and we could call them check water. Go down to the ocean, go check the water, see how it is, because where I grew up, the surf or the energy is what defines what you can do. It defines the place. It's so rough. The trade winds blow over there, I don't know, maybe 70% of the time, and when you can go in the ocean is maybe for dive is maybe 30% of the time, or maybe even 30 days out of the year, maybe even less than that. But it's just a different mindset. You got to really be aware of what's going on. Of course, the first thing is the wind. Looking at the wind, because over there is windy. So when the wind calms down, then the next thing you do, you check the river. And we check the river not for going the river. We check the river because we're getting ready to go into the ocean. Because over there, you get a lot of rivers, and we're looking at the runoff. If the water is brown, if the water is clean. If the water is clean, that's more better for you, because when you go dive like that, then the water will be clean so you can see the fish. So today we went to a place, and when I first got familiar with that place is when I started collecting limu. It's someplace down this south side, and when I'd collect limu over there, I'd bring them to Dr. Abbott, and I'll give it to her. And one of the important things that you gotta know about the limu is where it came from. So I'll tell her like the English name, and she should shake her head, and she should be very disappointed when I use the English name. She said, boy, you gotta learn the Hawaiian name for that place. So I'd ask her, and then she'd tell me the name. So she gave me 2 names for that place today, and one of the names was Kaalawai, and the other name was Kupikipikio. And to me, that Kaalawai name really sticks out to me, because when I just, you just make a connection sometimes between a name and place, and I just would remember, like, whenever you come down that stairs and you look like that, you see all the ova or palahalaha. And that limu is one of those indicators of fresh water. Kaalawai, the fragrant fresh water. Now this is on beach. How come on beach get Kaalawai, you know what I mean? Not Kai. And so that's the thing that kind of made me think this place is probably named something to do with the fresh water that comes out over here, and that's why the limu palahalaha is growing over there. I never did ask her why I gotta learn the Hawaiian name. I never asked that. You know, I would never ask her questions like that. I just do, you know what I mean? And later on, I kind of figured out why. First reason is you gotta respect the culture. These places had names long time before, and now get all these different names. Why don't we use the old name, the real name? And so that's one reason, is kind of respecting the culture. But the other thing is these names, kind of like, you know, how that Kaalawai thing is gonna indicate to you, it's gonna tell you a little bit about that place. It has knowledge, in the name has knowledge, you know what I mean? Fresh water, Kaalawai, fragrant fresh water. Over there, probably get fresh water, so it's called that. And it's not like streams or stuff like that, that's more like groundwater, so it's a little bit more harder to detect, harder to notice, not as obvious, you know what I mean? But the name is gonna tell you that.